Have you ever wondered what it's like to grow up in a low-income family where every penny counts? Let's journey together into the life of our protagonist, born into a humble village in Bihar. Despite their lack of formal education, his parents understood the power of knowledge. They nurtured his academic curiosity, encouraging him to shine brighter than his siblings. His hard work paid off when he secured a full scholarship for engineering coaching in Patna. It was a beacon of hope, a chance to break the cycle of poverty. But fate had a different script. Despite 2 years of rigorous preparation, our protagonist couldn't crack the GE mains. A dream shattered, a future uncertain. He returned to his village not with a degree, but a debt of about 70 to 80,000 rupees. It seemed like the end of the road. But was it really? But life had other plans, and our protagonist found himself back in his village with no degree and a debt of about 70 to 80,000 rupees. Sometimes the hardest times lead to the greatest moments of our life. Our protagonist, facing the harsh realities of his situation, made a crucial decision. He chose to move to his district headquarters, a decision that was both challenging and life-changing. Here he embarked on a new journey, one of survival and perseverance. He began teaching part-time at a local school and offering home tuitions, using the income to support himself. This was no easy task. Juggling work and study was a test of his resilience, but he was determined to forge ahead. Simultaneously, he secured admission to a state university college for graduation. This was a significant step for him, a leap towards the brighter future he envisioned for himself. But the journey was far from smooth. His path was riddled with obstacles, the most daunting of which was his deteriorating hearing condition. This added an extra layer of adversity to his already challenging circumstances. Things took a darker turn during his graduation. The financial strain on him and his family was such that he found himself contemplating the unthinkable: suicide. The weight of his situation was overwhelming. He felt trapped, cornered by the circumstances that seemed to close in around him. It was a moment of utter despair, but in the darkest hour there was a spark of resilience, a glimmer of hope. He realized that there was nothing left to lose. He was already at rock bottom. The only way left was up. His situation couldn't possibly get worse. It could only get better. This realization was a turning point. It was a pivotal moment that spurred him to fight back, to strive for a better future. It was in this moment that our protagonist decided to turn his life around. He chose to struggle, to fight, to survive. He chose life over despair. He chose hope over fear. He chose to rise above his circumstances and strive for a better future. He chose to turn his life around. And that, my friends, is the power of a decision. It can change your life. Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Our protagonist's journey took him to a central university for post-graduation. Despite the financial constraints, he managed to fund his education through his savings and loans from friends. It was a struggle, but he was fueled by the belief that education was his ticket to a better life. During this time, he didn't just focus on his studies. He relentlessly attempted the SSC and railway exams. The preparation was grueling and the competition was tough, but our protagonist was not one to back down. He knew that each failed attempt was just a step closer to his success. His determination and hard work finally paid off. He secured a central government job with a 2400 grade pay. The joy of this triumph was not just his, but also shared by his parents back in the village. Their faith in his abilities was finally vindicated. But what's more fascinating is the change in people's attitude towards him. Before, they saw him as a young man from an economically challenged background, struggling to make ends meet. But now, they saw him as a government employee, a symbol of stability and respect. It's a stark reminder of how society often measures a person's worth by their job title. However, our protagonist remains grounded. He's grateful for his job, but he knows that this is not the end of his journey. He's still preparing for Group B and Group A jobs. He's continually striving for more, not for societal validation, but to fulfill his own aspirations. And so, our protagonist stands today, holding a government job, still preparing for Group B and Group A jobs, and figuring out the next steps in his life. His story is a testament to the power of resilience, determination, and the belief that education can change one's life. Remember, it's the courage to continue that truly counts in life's journey.